Yes, sir. Hey.
Somebody check the volume and post Baba Kusha, the elders live. Whoever's in elders channel, Baba Kusha, give us all clear with sound.
He's already seen.
No, I already told them. I had your back from the beginning.
Copy. All right. Well, shalom, shalom. We are the brothers of the Great Millstone, the branch here in Chicago. And first and foremost, we want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash.
double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all our fellow laborers
To what
doing
I
this
can-
work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. Now more so than ever. You know, the would-be judges, the 144,000. Right, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations, that often have the appearance of the heathen nations. This is not a black thing, a white thing, a color thing. It's an Israelite thing. All right, and to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you, I say shalom. All right, and yeah, we just gonna go jump right into this thing. All right, this big beautiful bill passed, and patriots are on the verge of uprising.
That's right.
And if you hadn't been seeing, somebody get second Ezra 9 real quick. You hadn't seen as of lately what's been going on in Mexico. There's been a lot of violence toward Edomites, toward white people.
Beautiful.
You know, Issachar is down there rioting. They're down there protesting. They're destroying Edomite properties, restaurants, businesses, etc. Spray painting and tagging it. They're tired of it. They're saying, "Mi casa, no tu casa." All right, this is our house, not your house. All right, and truth be said, that should be the sentiment of every nation and place on the earth, man. Because Esau is an invader, is an illegal alien in every place that he is. All right, and then Trump just passed.
The house.
Well, not the bill, but the money that he got for arming. I think they went from a $17 billion budget or $10 billion to $170 billion dollar $170 billion for ICE. So ICE is getting ready to recruit Dog the bounty hunter, every racist bounty hunter, every racist KKK militia member.
That's a lot of money.
They got a big. Matter of fact, they got a bigger budget than Russia's military,
I'm gonna say that's more than
than
the
some
military.
other countries' militaries, just so that they can start this this destruction upon Jacob. And people still want to try and argue with us on the comment board about Jacob's trouble as if it has not started. It has started, man. Bodies have already been dropping, and you know the 60 bodies that washed up. Matter of fact, 70 just died in the recent floods, and that's looking shady as hell. Like it might have been some weather manipulation. That's the talk now. But 70 and counting because bodies are missing. Some of those were children because the flood hit. There was like a day camp, like the summer camp with the kids and shit. So you know, so it's like, you know, like I said, 70 plus bodies missing. Okay, but to get back on point, 60 witnesses, and Rala and I had that discussion because the girl was following the flight of the planes, and the planes, and she was following the radar flights, and Esau fucked up. You can track everything, so the flights were going out over the water, circling and coming back, but the people weren't, and these were people who were supposed to be deported. So what happened to them?
Wow.
They dumped them, and now the mainstream media has a complete blackout on it. And if it wasn't for all these bodies that began to wash up, no one would have ever known. But we know that it was the Lord. So those people got punished because the Northern Kingdom was full of idolatry and all. So men, women, children, pregnant people, they didn't get no fuck. They opened them doors, them cargo doors, and let them people fall to the water, fall to their deaths, man. And thinking that the sharks and the sea would take care of them, not thinking the Lord probably made a damn riptide take them bodies.
That shit right then.
Took them bodies right back to 60, at least 60 of them. So at least 60 bodies washed back up, showing you the evidence of what the American government is doing. A modern day murderous genocide.
Shackled up.
And nobody's fucking talking about it as if it is not happening. No one is outraged. Well, people are outraged, but the point is that the mainstream media, being that they're all in on it, you know, this completely APAC ran, you know, J-ish controlled media, et cetera, they're not talking about this. Same way that they don't talk about the things that they do in Gaza. They're all the same Edomites, man, worldwide, and they're about to move on Jacob, man. And so after they did that, in the same video that I particularly watched, I saw the incinerators. So now they're putting incinerators in Alligator Auschwitz.
Oh yeah.
All right, or Alligator.
Alcatraz.
You know, they call it Auschwitz now. So Alligator Auschwitz. No, that's the smack in the face to the people who put it up. Because they call it so the resistance is called an Alligator Auschwitz. All right, but now they want to put, and now they got copycat states talking about doing the same thing, making these same, and then they even said the president even went on national TV and said that they want to live stream the escape attempt so that they can watch the alligators destroy the people. And I'm like, damn, it can't be a coincidence that there's a new Running Man coming out.
That's right, brother.
Where they're streaming the destruction of people supposedly who have committed crimes. Then you find out that it was all rigged. It was all set up. So that's where we are. So it's fucking here, man.
Yeah.
And they're gonna come after the Southern Kingdom as well, man. They already came at the Haitians, you know, and Levi beat that ass. Same way they did back with Toussaint. They beat, you know, ICE got lumped up. So to the point where they wanted, like, well, damn, we can't be taking no beatings like this. We gotta. So they gave them all this more money now, and they getting ready to bring in. Hey, look, everyone in here should have saw the first purge.
That's right.
And when the purge wasn't going as violent as they wanted it to go, when enough people wasn't killing, they sent out the mercenaries, who were all so-called white men, and they all wore masks. So now you're getting ready to deputize all these so-called white men who've already been committing all kind of crimes. I can only imagine the amount of women they've snatched up and they've raped and had their way with, and children. All right, and I can already imagine, and it's not going unreported. But now you're going to allow these people to. Esau is showing his true horns. The Edomites are showing their true horns, man.
And I just saw a video. Edomites had a Jake in the kind of like the woods, and they was all talking about go get a noose, go string him up. But he was with four of the Edomites, and they got into it with the other Edomites, and basically they saved his ass. So you think you're good with your 5 white buddies, you know, and with all the epithets that they was throwing out. When you say we're here, it's here.
Yeah, that's a lot of.
It's here.
Well, now that you said that, I got a part of a video that I'm going to play where a former soldier is talking about the same conversation we had at camp yesterday. When I brought out all the laws that are being violated and the supreme law of the land. All these executive orders are against the law of the land, which is the Constitution. And so you got soldiers who are going to, they know that they're going to have insurrections. You're going to have soldiers that are going to not obey these lawful orders. And to be honest with you, anyone who took that oath, it is your duty as a soldier to arrest and apprehend anyone who's breaking that. So that would mean Donald Trump and anyone in his staff and all the people who are pushing these laws that go against the supreme law of the land. And now they basically have combined the 3 branches of government where Donald Trump has the ultimate power over all 3, which we know what that really means is that AIPAC and the J-ish have it, because you already know the 4th branch of government was the IRS. And then the 5th assistant branch of government was all these NGOs, which are all J-ish. All these J-ish NGOs. That's why they rule and control here in America. Well, somebody get that second Ezra.
I'm on that. This is 2nd Esdras, the 9th chapter, starting with the 1st verse. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I've told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes.
There's been almost 20,000 earthquakes in total in the last couple months in diverse places in different parts of the earth. Read.
and uproars of the people.
The latest uproars are the riots and the uproars that are in Mexico with the Mexicans coming against the widows. All right, for those you don't, that's what one of the names that they call white, so-called white people. All right.
Then and the protest that's going on abroad, all as uproars in so many different lands, all over.
All over the place. That's the latest one though. But go ahead.
Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest, even so the times also the highest have plain beginnings and wonders, and powerful works, and endings in effects and signs.
And those signs, non-stop fires. Israel was burning like a couple weeks ago. Right after they did that dirt, Israel was burning. Israelis are fleeing and going all over the place. I saw, I think it was like 150,000 of them or something like that were trying to go into Cyprus. And someone put a meme, Cyprus citizens should take note, should go and read up on the history of what happened to the Palestinians shortly after Israelis showed up at the, but yeah, so you had that. You also have these floods that just hit Texas. Well, we mentioned 70 people are children, and children among them are dead, and they're not even counting the missing bodies yet. So people, and it said 12 inches of rain fell per minute. All right, and that it went from no rain on the ground to a 26-foot wall of water, which killed a lot of people. That's nuts. You walk cars and shit. While I was watching some old man who's supposed to be in hospice, he in his fucking bedridden, can't even walk, and the water's dead all the way up to the edge of the bed.
That's crazy.
Right? So it's a lot of suffering, man.
And everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed.
Well, the works that's going to be the elect, the men of the Lord, and the people who are signed unto them.
Right.
Whoever their families, and that's the members of their families, the Lord is assigned unto them, and fall under their umbrella, and whatever women among your Isaiah 4:1, those women that fall under you. Outside of that, man. Oh, and then the rest of the elect men who are actually believers, because all men aren't teachers and and prophets, but you have a lot of men who do believe, who listen, watch, and learn. All right. That's it. This is all about the elect, man. Okay, so you 2/3 ninjas are finally about to get what the fuck you deserve, man. And it's happening to you. And it always starts with the Northern Kingdom, man. Real quick, this is Psalms 17:13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him. Cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. All right, Esau is a hammer of the earth. Okay? He is a sword of the left-hand side. And his job, Esau was put here to be the murderous, colonizing menace that he is. And now, the Wadi Yahweh, he's at the end of that murderous, colonizing reign, and he has been discovered. All right? His mask has been pulled off. Like Future said, fucking mask off. Right? You've been exposed, man. And he's desperately trying to put that mask back on. No, I'm the good guy. I'm the blue-eyed great, the hero. I'm the knight in shining out armor. No, you've been the murderous, rapist, child molesting, the torture of animals, torture of people the whole time. The whole time, man. Animals that are stuck away in labs, and you doing fucked up shit to them that dying horrible deaths, just so you can test the product so you can sell for profit.
Like that movie Doctor Who, where he was making all this shit that had all the different fucking bioengineered animals and shit. Dr. Monroe, that's what it was. Yeah. So this what it is, like I said, what he does, he has to infect the gene to open it up. So he can even make this damn food now. He has to infect the gene code so he can make the fucking GMO foods.
I got a quick one. This is on Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city! It is full of lies and robbery. The prey departed not."
Right, it's full of lies and robbery, and the prey departed not, man. And Esau, Edom, you know, his wicked, sinful, wicked reign, man. All right, all the things where he's able to split up families and shit and take children away from their fathers and all kind of madness, man. All that's coming to an end, man. And you damn nasty ass wicked women, especially the women of our tribes that have supported and helped him, that use his wicked laws against your own people, specifically against your men. All that's coming to an end, man. It's all coming to an end.
Man, we close, bro. We're fucking company. We're really close. Just land back it off the second Ezra, the 9th chapter. He said, when you see parts of the signs pass, if you go back, you can see that the MOTB, the mark on your mark, it said go into your hand if you're not of the righteous elect. All right, radio frequency identification device. If you go into World War III, which is all knock on the doorsteps between Ukraine and Russia, between Israel, Iran, and America, between Israel and Palestine, between the shit going on with China, Taiwan, and North Korea, South Korea, all that. It's set. The BRICS versus the NATO, everything is set. All the things are set. And then you look at over here, Babylon the Great, what the fierce king of Babylon is doing. The Lord says that's in the days of Noah. They'll be eating and drinking and so forth. See, the semblance of life was in semblance of life before the flood. And the Lord said, as in the days of Noah, there'll be a semblance of life right here now. So right now people think everything is cool, everything is okay. It's not okay. All right? Every system is crumbling. Every structure is crumbling here in America, and not only America, but abroad. And it's only a matter of time before we decide, that's his plan.
I got a scripture for you.
Bring it out, brother.
This is Isaiah 46:10, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, but now those things that were done and declared from ancient times is here now. It's happening now. The end has manifested itself. My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. The Lord's pleasure is going to be a lot of murder, a lot of bloodshed.
Well, actually, the Lord is not going to murder anyone. He's going to kill people.
Yeah, exactly.
So just so you people know, there's a difference between murdering and killing. Esau is a murderer. All right? When someone's killed, it's justified. All right? There's the two are not the same thing. And what I mean by someone killed, someone who's offended the Lord, offended the law of the Lord. All right? When the Lord puts someone to death, it's because they have offended him. Therefore, that kill is righteous. Someone who is murdered, I'm just giving them the breakdown, Pops. When someone is murdered, that means they were killed unrighteously. You had no grounds to take their life. All right? Just because you mad at somebody, you pissed off at them. That's not a death sentence. Okay? Is there more to that?
Oh, no, that was it.
Okay, because somebody hold what you got, hold that Baba shot, and go to 2 Thessalonians 2:8, and then we gonna come back to whatever it is you have.
This is 2 Thessalonians 2:8. And it says, and then should the wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth.
So in the spirit of the mouth, that the Lord is consuming them with is the mouth of the prophets, because despite popular belief, it's not truthers that they want to silence. They really want to silence the prophets. All this is really aimed at us without them saying so, because they don't want to give us more attention than what we already get. That's why they never made that movie Asher twice. All right, that's why they never did it, because they realized that would have been a huge mistake. Read.
And should destroy with the brightness of his coming.
But Yahweh Shai is coming to destroy them. So we're talking about them being exposed. I'm going to play this body update video. So these bodies bear witness against Trump and his ICE agents. All right, and the violation of the law of the land. All right, these bodies bear witness to it. So I'm going to play this video.
Yeah, all right, guys. So we have an update on the bodies in the Mediterranean. You can watch that video.
Turn it off.
Just more information. We did pull the report yesterday. I went over it last night while we were doing it live. Looking over DC and all that kind of stuff, trying to make sure.
Hold on, I'm gonna take it back.
Yeah, all right, guys. So we have an update on the bodies in the Mediterranean. You can go watch that video. This this is just more information. We did pull the report yesterday. I went over it last night while we were doing a live. While we were looking over DC and all that kind of stuff, trying to make sure we can stay ahead of the missing girls over there. But I want to go over what we pulled. Then we pulled another report today, which just further confirms and gives us some more information. But key intel summary from yesterday was that DNA testing status is that there was no DNA match. It was pretty much extracted and cross-checked against the EU and Interpol missing migrant database with no information. Word for word, Spanish authorities have not released any official DNA match result publicly. However, internal forensic sources via Diario de Mallorca on July 2nd confirmed samples were extracted and cross-checked against EU and Interpol missing migrant databases. No matches have been confirmed, indicating the victims may have never been formally processed and may be refugee into the system. Autopsy findings, forensic teams confirmed ligature and shackle marks consistent with prolonged restraint. No sign of decompetition from natural drowning patterns. Preliminary cause of death, asphyxia and/or hypothermia. Experts note suffocation in confined space before water contact.
Okay, so they were suffocate. Some of them were suffocated in confined spaces before contact. They have had no DNA confirmation because they don't want the DNA confirmation. They have the DNA and they know, and that many of them died in the water from hypothermia and drowning. So that's basically what he said. Let's let him continue.
Suffocation in the confined space because it wasn't in the plane, and that leads me to where we're looking tomorrow.
He said some of them died before they even got. So some of them were being dropped out of the planes with dead bodies.
Right.
They were already dead.
And in the confined space, I mean, they had them in a box, like
So
them bunched up.
they had them bunched up together, and it said they had the marks. You could tell that they had been chained and bunched up. If they shoved you in a container and people are lying on top of you, you trip and fall, and they shove it in, and you can't. People, you see what I mean? People were suffocating. So this was very cruel treatment, and they weren't properly processed. They were just rounded up, shoved in containers, and then shoved on the planes, and then their bodies discarded. That's basically what happened, and this is the evidence.
Analysis using eco stress and HERS overlays, cross-reference sea surface temperature anomalies, drift vectors, thermal drift patch matches, body discovery site, disposal origin near the Algerian basin. Maritime data phase 3 was initiated. We confirmed that 3 transponders were blacked out in the region. June 26, 27.
3 transponders were blacked out.
That's going to play an important part.
So they
The
weren't
projection
tracking.
shows more bodies are going to come up around July 7th, possibly July 8th. So I need everybody to look out for that. With vessels registered.
Okay, that's enough, because I'm actually going to do a lesson on these later, man. I'm going to let them play. But he said they're expecting to find more bodies because more planes did it. So expect more bodies and more. All right, and so the reason, and so they haven't released any of the DNA because you're going to find out, and mark my words, what you're going to find out is that DNA is going to be connected to people who are asking questions about where their loved ones are. Where's my husband? Where's my son? Where's my wife? Where's my daughter? Where's my sister? Where the fuck is my brother? All right, and that DNA is going to match some of these people who are asking these questions. So Esau, if this man ain't showing you who he really is at this point, and you jakes out here still want to come against the men of the Lord, we've been telling you the whole time what these people were really like. Okay?
Yeah. And, even on Netflix, like they be showing a commercial, right? And it's this fucking Edomite lady. She come up and she said, "Yeah, if you illegal aliens don't leave now, we gonna ship you to Alcatraz." They got this on fucking Netflix for the commercial saying this. We gonna ship you to Alcatraz, or if you leave politely, then you can try to get citizens to come here illegally.
And that's bullshit because it ain't about legally because they are arresting. They're trying to take away citizenship.
Yeah.
Also, they were arresting people who they sat at the court and waited for people to show up for court to go see the judges to get their paperwork straight, to do everything properly and legally, and those people were arrested too. So it was never about legal. It was simply about the fact that this is a racist agenda to get brown people out of America and MAWA. It's not MAGA, it's MAWA. All right, make America white all over.
Yep.
That's what it is. That's what they want. MAWA, MAWA. They want to make America white all over. They want to completely get control over the land that they've stolen. All right.
But in the last purge, they came out. The big thing was kill the brownies, get rid of the brownies, and they was going after the Northern Kingdom. And they showed you they was going after Jake too. But they was really fucking with the Northern Kingdom.
Yeah. Well, in the first purge,
Right.
it started in Staten Island, which in those projects was full of both.
Yeah.
It was basically Ephraim and Judah there.
Yeah.
All right. But I want to play a portion of this, and if somebody can get 2nd Ezra, the 9th chapter on deck, I want you to hear what this former soldier, what this veteran has to say. All right. Who looks very war torn and very battle hardened. All right. He's an older guy, but he ain't that old. This guy still looks like he can get out there and run a few miles, and he probably still can fucking, he probably can still shoot his weapons very well. But here we go.
Address this to vets. I'm going to address this to law enforcement. I'm a veteran, and I swore an oath to support and defend the Constitution. What that Constitution is, it is to protect the people against the government. If you are out there, I don't care if you're in a community that has signed a contract with ICE. If they are performing an unlawful act, if they don't have a warrant, and you support them, we need to start taking you down too. You are getting paid taxpayer money to protect and serve, so start doing your fucking job. You're not being paid to protect and serve ICE. That contract came after you signed up. Your squad car says to protect and serve. Start doing your job. Start standing up for your community. And if someone's here illegally, fine. Do it the right way. Due process. Stop this mass bullshit. You can stand down. You have a choice. We saw a leaked Border Patrol meeting, and someone questioned the authority of the supervisor and said, no, this isn't right. That's what it takes. Someone has to stand up inside that department and say, no, we're not doing this. This is not how we do it. I signed up to protect and serve. I didn't sign up to unlawfully go collect people from Home Depot and throw them in a concentration camp. So do your fucking job. Protect and serve your community, and we'll get rid of criminals the right way with due process, and we'll avoid all this other Nazi bullshit.
So
Amen.
So these soldiers, people are angry because you got a lot of people that are pro-American and pro-constitutionalists, and they are blatantly disregarding the law of the land and doing whatever the fuck they want. All right. Trump. As a matter of fact, somebody look up. Go to your AI and look up. We did this yesterday. Look up the Constitution is the law of the land, put up soldiers. Put in soldiers taking an oath to protect the Constitution, and see what pops up, because it's going to talk about the UCMJ, the Uniform Military Code of Justice, and it's going to talk about the Constitution, and they're both right there. The Constitution is over it, and the UCMJ has to be aligned with it, and it even tells you within the UCMJ, the Uniform Military Code of Justice, that it is your duty as a sworn protector of this country is to stand up to protect and come against anybody who does anything that goes against the Constitution, including the president and his cabinet.
This shit crazy.
Anybody, I know. So, and there's a lot of people, there's a lot of angry people, and believe me, they're gonna have soldiers and high-ranking soldiers, battle-hardened soldiers that love America are going to and guess what? The soldiers are gonna follow them. You right? You best believe. You get ready to have your whole bunch of Maximus Aureliuses out there, the fucking general. All right, because his soldiers are ready to ride for him. Because he said, if my men, because they didn't know he was, if his men knew he was alive and being forced to fight in that fucking arena, they would have came and burned Rome the fuck down to get their general back. You got men who done fought and went all over the world and fought these dirty wars for America, and they will fucking ride for they officers and the men in their unit and shit. You understand what I'm saying? They'll ride for these motherfuckers. And they like, wait a minute, y'all doing what? So America getting ready to have a lot of problems, man. A lot of fucking problems. And it's all here. All right, what you got, brother? Whatever scriptures you got, you got an article?
It says I
I
got
got the oath you said.
Come. No, you got a scripture?
Oh, the article.
Oh, you got it too.
I got a scripture.
Okay, let them bring out the scripture and you read yours and you read yours. Let's hear what they say.
This Isaiah 47:7. And thou says, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lie these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Like he was just saying, these Edomites doing all of this bullshit, and they forgot that y'all got an end coming. You know, it's y'all about to get taken down, y'all about to be destroyed, y'all going into slavery. So you're doing all of this stuff really in vain.
For nothing.
It's all for the Lord's purpose anyway. So everything you're doing is just gonna show you that, hey nigga, you ain't about to be that lady no more. You about to be touched.
Well, he divided the fuck out of them.
Yeah.
And we saying, and they're doing all this preparation for getting all this stuff for ICE to attack and oppress Jake first and put him in them camps. And the truth of the matter is, they get ready to arm ICE, and ICE is getting ready to have to fight other white men, militias and shit.
They gonna come out the woodwork.
Yes.
Because I think it was last year, the one dude was in the government meeting. He was like, "So when do we fight?"
Yeah, that guy.
He was waiting.
He's
He
like,
said, "So
fuck
when
all
do
this talking shit. When I
do
remember
we-"
that.
Yeah, he said, "When do we fight?"
It was the Edomite. He was like, so when do we start shooting these motherfuckers? That's what he said.
He said, when
do we start shooting these motherfuckers?
Because the shit that's going on right now, these good old boys.
And that was behind that C-19 fraud and all that other shit.
Mhm.
He was mad as fuck.
I
He was like, this is unconstitutional. This shit is, I got family members that have died, not from the illness, but from the medicine. All right? And people are mad, man. People are still mad over that.
Yeah, a lot of people
right.
died over that shit, you know.
Yeah, you got this body of embalmers that are all giving up. They all got these vials and bottles that are full of fucking clots and shit that they pulled out of all these bodies.
Yeah.
In the thousands.
Yeah.
It's
Like, clots that are 2 feet long and shit. Myocarditis. They did all, big fucking nasty ass clots that they done, thick ass shit, thicker than your fingers.
Yeah.
This is in fucking people's veins and shit. No wonder people are fucking dropping dead and,
What's crazy?
But that's why they
dying suddenly.
What's crazy about it? It's a new thing that they got called a blood oil change. Because of
I saw that.
Because of the protein, they fucking filter out all the. They trying to get the shit out of people's blood.
I saw the one guy laying on the table getting it.
Yeah.
And you saw how his blood was coming out clean on the other side.
and
They were cleaning all that shit out of him.
Yeah, and they show you the
Yeah.
proteins. Like this come from this, and even people that didn't get it still had them proteins because they was around people that got it.
Yeah, well,
You know what I'm
that
saying?
probably, and who knows what the
Shit
fuck
they
put in the
yeah,
rain and in
like-
the food. So because everybody got these weird shit going on every time it fucking rains in America.
Fucking headache.
All right,
My allergies been acting
You know,
crazy.
but if y'all would go ahead, y'all can start on those articles. Shemai, you go first, brother.
Okay.
Whatever it is you got.
All right. It says members of the military are subject to many rules, regulations, and laws besides having to obey the laws of the United States and their host countries in times of peace under international treaties. They are subject to a special set of laws made just for them, the Uniform Code of Military Justice. It says the federal law enacted by Congress was applies to all active duty members as well as activated National Guard and Reserve members and military academy students. Basically, it says, as constitutionally mandated, Congress creates the laws contained in the UCMJ.
Constitutionally what?
So the UCMJ was created
Mandate.
by the Congress for military people, active duty and cadets. So if you're in West Point, you're some sort of college becoming a ROTC, studying for officer program, you are subject to the UCMJ, and the main oath that they take which is in the first article, right? It's the first article of the UCMJ. One of the things in there is for you to uphold and protect the Constitution. Any law that goes against the Constitution, you are supposed to go at it
That's what they
All right,
say
you're
you are.
supposed to protect it
It's,
with your fucking life. You're supposed to, anybody who tries to go against that Constitution, you're supposed to come against it. All right, it is an that is an unlawful order. All
it
right,
says, this AI just says in plain, U.S. service members take an oath to, quote, so this is the actual part of the oath, support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign
and domestic, and Trump and his people who passed a big beautiful bill and have consolidated the that's pretty much the same thing you were gonna read.
But it
Read
actually,
what yours says.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
because it gives the oath.
Just
Both
break
oaths.
it down, brother. Just read it.
Alright, it says the oath of enlistment for enlist personnel, and then it got for officers as well. It said, then you say your name,
Yeah.
do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Foreign and domestic. So
Yeah.
any congressman, any House of Representative,
Yeah.
any sitting president that does something that goes against the law of the land, all right, they're now, could be classified as a T word.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
It says that I will bear a true faith and alliance to do the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officer appointed over me, according to the regulations and the uniform code of military justice.
So
help
if the
me God.
president
If he
of the
tweak-
United States doesn't go according to the uniform military
Yeah.
code,
Right.
according to the Constitution, then he has sent out
Right.
unlawful orders, which soldiers do not have to follow, and soldiers are supposed to take the measures to set the law back in place. They getting ready to have problems, man.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
more.
Go
Then
ahead.
it say key points. The primary loyalty is to the United States, the U.S. Constitution,
Bingo.
not any individual. The phrase against all enemies, foreign and domestic, emphasize the importance of upholding the constitutional principles regardless where the threats come from. The oath reflects the idea that the military serves the people and the rule of law, not a monarch or dictator.
Man.
Yeah, and that's why them going against the taking away the guns is more than just taking away the guns. Illegals don't go to your fucking store and get guns. The reason to take away the guns is the second part of the Second Amendment, the right to have a fucking militia.
There it is.
All right.
Which is set in place to keep these things in order.
Exactly.
And they don't want that. They don't want you to then. So a lot of the violence that happens in the big cities is orchestrated by Esau Edom so that he can keep the gun under control. All right, that's what it really comes down
Simple as
to.
it is, yep.
Okay, and the second thing is that out of his own greed, he made sure guns went to the hood for two reasons: so that Jake could kill one another, and so that he keep the prison houses full, so that he can make all that money
Free-
within the
free
court
labor.
system and all the free labor.
And what's
All right.
crazy, all this shit that's going on in California right now, California law, you got to get special permits to have assault rifles, and then when you have them, you got special magazines to where you can only carry 10 rounds. So they little bitty 10-round magazines, and then now what they did is the ARs that they had to take them and get them modified, and now they bolt fired. So now you see everything that's
It's a
going on.
bolt? You
It's
mean
a
like
bolt
a-
on
you
the
mean like a
AR.
one-
It's a single fire. It's a single
What
fire
the
AR.
fuck?
Yeah, they changed their whole how they sell like weapons, how they sell everything.
A bolt fired AR.
Yes.
You have got to be kidding
So
me.
and
Both fight M16 sound crazy.
it's crazy. So then they got the magazines. They'll show you that it's full, but it's a block in it. So they can only carry so many rounds in they handgun.
Which means people who selling them on the logo make a killing.
They making a killing. But this is why they don't care about the niggas on the street, because this is controlled crime. This is what they want. But the people who they worried about is the niggas that can legally do it, because they train it and they can fight back.
They don't
Exactly.
exactly.
They
That's
can
what it
fight
comes
back.
down to.
And that's why they
is
took-
they want to control the legal gun owners,
Mhm.
and a lot of legal gun owners are former military. I'll probably say the majority of legal gun owners are military, because they're
They
comfortable.
families, yeah.
They're comfortable with handling and being around firearms, where a lot of regular people aren't. They feel like weird around guns and shit.
Right.
All right.
Yeah.
Because a lot of shit these little niggas got, the government got to be giving it to them.
Of course, it's a setup.
Yeah, because the switch, I say this all the time, you need a FFL license, you need a dealer's license to get a switch. A lot of these little niggas are doing shit that where you need to know a gunsmith to do the shit that they're doing to these guns. You gotta know a motherfucker that's doing this, or you know a nigga
Right.
on the inside.
Niggas don't got
to
3D printers.
Niggas don't got 3D printers. Niggas don't need, and then you need a high quality 3D printer. You just can't buy one from Best Buy. You gotta, like, 3D printing is an old thing. Your polymer guns, the lowest, a lot of those are 3D printed or injection molded, and they just put the metal bracing and everything to make it stronger. These little niggas don't got that. These niggas got switches with fucking drums. These niggas ain't got no money, and they got drums. In the store, a drum will cost $300-400, and they got them by the boatload. How the fuck are they getting them? Because somebody is plugged with the government, and that's how
The
they
trucks,
get
they
them.
leave the trucks in the hood.
Yeah.
They've been doing this shit for decades.
This shit ain't the old thing.
Yeah.
You know, this shit is old.
And you know, the Isaiah 29:16-15 real quick, because Esau tried to hide that. He tries to and when that's brought up, and you've often heard what you just said brought up in different videos and different people have said. I've witnessed it myself. Them going on them freights. I never witnessed the guns, but I've witnessed them pull shit off them freights. All right. But you know, you've got a lot of content providers on the internet that have spoken on this with credible people. Even some celebrities have spoken on it, and yet the mainstream media
Ignores it.
yeah, because you'll never see what's his name, Vlad. He won't. He won't touch that. What's the fake J-ish dude? He's always the funny looking dude. He's always got porn stars on his show.
Adam Tootie.
No, not him. The other one with the big curly hair and the big old snobs. The old school one.
Yeah, I know you're talking about the one who's red
With the glasses.
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern.
Oh, that
Right.
He used to be.
They
He was wild,
They
man.
would never. Well, Howard Stern be to have some weird shit. He wild, you know.
He was the first one.
You know, swingers and shit.
He was the first one. Yeah, he was the first one.
Cup
yeah.
daddy, you know.
Yeah.
All right. But right, and Keisha right there with him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But you never see them cover this subject matter.
No.
All right, and you know, and not to sound, you know, like I just, you know, I'm biased toward, you know, J-ish because I am. They're frauds and they're lies and they've stolen our heritage.
Tell it.
But I'm willing to bet that this sort of thing has their fingerprint all over.
It only
You know,
makes sense.
It has their fingerprint all over. You know, that you go to the bottom of it. Whoever the person is that's in the department that's making sure all this shit gets sent out to the hood. Make sure them little niggas is all well armed.
It's a genius plan.
Make sure they got switches. I'm willing to bet, you know, it's one of them issues that's one signing off on that shit.
Yeah.
And then
Right.
they make the rappers rap about it.
Right.
Yeah.
And they make the rappers rap about it, make it popular.
Then make
They talk
scarcity
about
in your neighborhoods to where you ain't gotta pop to fucking piss
How
in.
these little niggas live? How these niggas on O Block? They mama on Section 8 and barely can motherfucking keep without spending her money on her link card or goddamn it, crab balls.
Yeah,
How these
there was
little
another
niggas
dude
get-
called it. You
They ain't got
know,
no money.
there was another shooting that went on, and the Edomite came on and broke it all down, man. And he broke down the gun that this particular, you know, youngin supposedly used, and he was like, he couldn't even afford that. How the hell did he get that?
And them
He
niggas
broke it
got
all
some shit.
down, how much it would have cost. You know, all the different parts and the pieces, and he was like, ain't no fucking way in the world.
These niggas
He said
rapped
this
up.
guy was supplied with this shit. This shit was a setup.
How they know about binary triggers? These niggas got all the shit that legal owners got, and they not legal. These felons.
Oh,
You
little
know?
kids. You got the
Little
12-year-olds
kids,
with this shit.
12-year-olds with this
13.
shit. These little niggas don't know nothing about it, but yet they got them. You know? Y'all got scripture.
I got a scripture.
Bring it out, bro.
I had Isaiah. You said 29?
Yeah,
Yeah.
15. They try to hide that counsel.
Isaiah 29:15. Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsel from Yahweh, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us?
Right, because you know the one thing that you know what evil will do is to keep something hidden. He just won't talk about it. He right because you know the question keeps coming up now especially now that Diddy, Brother Baby Oil himself is about to get out. The question, nobody's talking about Epstein in the list.
No, not at all.
The mainstream, no one's talking about it. It's on purpose. So it's something that I noticed in my own personal fight with Esau. When you have receipts and evidence, they want to keep that shit far from the courts. No, we're not putting that in the courtroom. We're not gonna let No, they don't want a case. They don't want it to be seen, and so it can possibly have a case number.
Right.
Because once something is on record, now you can go and look it up. They don't want that.
And every court case is on record, depending on if you're in case and if you're doing it from inside the courtroom, and once they say it starts.
Even things that were closed.
Yes.
They still have record of all.
It's a record of all that, and they will not. They don't want. That's why it's been times when we had to do the court on the traffic shit. They'll say, we'll came up and they'll say, hey, and we start going into the real law, and they'll say, you know what, time out. We're gonna recess this one, or I forgot the technical term. We're gonna hold this one off, and they call everybody else up just to get nobody else in the room. But even then, they don't want you to say they don't want to say certain things because once it's on record, anyone can pull it up at any given time. All court cases are of public record.
I had a judge tell me, you better know what you're talking about, because if you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know everything what you're about to say out your mouth, I'm gonna throw the book at you. He looked at me right in my motherfucking face. I'm gonna throw the book at you. I said, what you say? Supervision? Let me tell you. Because I ain't know everything, you know what I mean? I only knew the little shit we knew.
Nobody knows everything unless you versed in legalese. 99% of the people on the planet are not versed in legalese. That's how they've been getting people. And then people know that they'll set a mountain which you can go through and you can overcome. But nobody got the money, the time, the resources, and the patience.
And they don't want to talk about information. I'm looking at something right now. It says Japan's infant mortality mandated that, things that they put inside children.
Right.
I won't say a name.
Right.
It said that they were ceased in 1994 for any child under 24 months, and Japan's infant mortality rate is one of the lowest in the world today.
Wow.
And the U.S. is one of the highest.
Yeah.
Enough fucking said. I don't need to say anything else. I didn't need to say anything medically or anything. That was enough.
That's it.
All right? But since 1994, anyone under 24 months don't get, no ouchies. All right? And they have the lowest infant mortality on the fucking planet, and America has the highest. And and they use babies as pincushions around this motherfucker. You can't, right? They shoot your mama up before you get out the womb. As soon as you come out the womb, then you're a pincushion, right? And then they wonder why these children are all fucked up, all over the damn place.
I was just gonna say that's what it says. Japan got a low autism rate too.
And because they're not putting all that P to the OI in them ass, you know what I'm saying? They're not putting all that goddamn tainted juice in their ass.
I guess so.
Go ahead, bring it out, bro.
It's Ezekiel 35, I'm gonna start at 1. Moreover, the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. And Mount Seir is the dwelling place of Esau, Edom. But wherever Esau is today, hey, we prophesy against Esau and what's going with it, and telling the world his bullshit. All right. It said, and say unto it, thus saith Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I will stretch out my hand against thee, and will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am Yahweh. And it's the point, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword, in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. Right? So our judgment's pretty much over with. All right? But the next verse. It said, Therefore, as I live, saith Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Since thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Right? So you didn't You did all of these things with these injectables, all right, and all of these little things that you just set up. These little YNs is a part of your creation, all right. These are your monstrosities, all right, from the rap music, all right. You know, and me personally, I've been trying to stop listening to so much of it because it really carries a spirit,
Yeah.
all right. You know, hey, when you listen to other people's music, you never hear this self-destruction.
No.
It's only amongst Jake. Most music that's out in other nations is love songs and analogies and, you know, but niggas, I'm talking about all the tribes, Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. It's all about self-destruction. But
Yep.
that's a product of Esau. All right?
Because what it comes down to is that who owns all the studios and the studio time, and they purposely pushed for those negative lyrics. So it was no reason, because guess what? The music was doing fine and they were making money, you know, before they did that. So it's an agenda to and it's taking effect, because look at these YNs now, these YNs and these YBs, and that's including the Northern Kingdom as well, because they just as gone out there.
Oh yeah, they fucked up.
They that psychology, that merciless, uncaring destruction.
The Jerry Heller in WA.
You know? Yeah,
And Jimmy Iovine, he took that nigga. That
Nah.
nigga one of the issues.
Jerry Heller is one
Right.
of those people, you know.
This dude with the NWA thing, they was protesting NWA.
That's what he's talking.
Oh,
That's Jerry Heller.
They was protesting NWO and all these niggas, man. All right, because they knew the outcome of what the music was gonna do.
Exactly.
All right,
They saw it.
They saw it, and now you got these niggas, Ice Cube and them trying to come out to be the good guys. When nigga, all these
Yeah, you done made
niggas
all
out
these
there-
movies.
Yeah.
You're right. You done made all these movies. You know, you trying to be wholesome and all this shit. Look at it. There's a lot of dead
Because of
Negroes
him.
that are filling up them jail cells because of you and your homies,
That's it.
and all those who are like you, Ghetto Boys too. Willie D trying to do, you know, get coming on and making all these videos, trying to when all you talked about was
Putting a motherfucker down.
was putting somebody down and committing adultery, because they gotta be in your song, because every other song is always about your bitch.
Yep.
You know, I took a picture of her while she was doing it. You know, or whatever. You know, it's always got to exactly. It's like not a bitch, but your bitch. It's got to be yours.
When I was in the industry,
Nobody else.
they told me they don't want to hear no positive shit. I was talking about elevate your mind. I was talking about all kind of things that was benefiting the people, and they said no, we want this. What they wanted was sex, drugs, adultery, shooting, killing. That's all they wanted. They didn't care. They told me that as a young man. So fuck this industry and fuck the music, because it's garbage. The most you can get out of it is a decent beat, a decent bass line. But you sitting there saying like, I'm gonna fuck your bitch and I'm gonna go ahead and make you rich. That's horrible, man.
Right, and then
That
I'm
shit
gonna
is
put
wicked,
I'm gonna
man.
put two in you.
Come on, man.
Damn.
I have different feeling on this shit.
Well, even these even them older singers, they was singing about adultery too.
Bro, I don't fuck with none of that
say
shit.
one.
If you're not talking about your how about you out or something that's positive, I don't give a fuck personally. But you know, I'm not coming to no brothers who listen to what the fuck they listen to. I personally don't rock with none of that shit.
Yeah, I can only take so much nigga shit. I'd rather not listen to. I listen to the old school shit.
Man,
You know, I listen to some house. You
that's
know,
instrumental in a minute.
you know, and then there's a lot of wicked
House
ass
is
house
freaky
music
as
too.
hell.
That too.
But it's a lot of wicked ass house music too. But nevertheless, you know, I don't want to hear no bullshit all the time.
Yeah,
You
man,
know,
I
it's
hear you.
something, yeah, because sometimes, you know, also I just sit up and listen to classical.
That's it.
That as a matter of fact, sometimes I always would leave it on at the dojo, and that was a common saying. They know that I've been there because the radio was always set to a classical station.
That's right.
They knew when I've been there. Because nobody else played it. Because I like to drill to it.
That's right.
You know.
That shit right.
And you know, scientifically proven that if you listen to classical music, it opens up your mind and your spirit and heals so many different ways.
You know. Because you just get tired of hearing bullshit all the time.
I mean, it goes back to King David. When he played the harp for Saul, it actually drove the demons away. music has
But
power in
it
it.
calmed him down.
But they showed,
He soothes- he likes
not only
calm.
soothed him, when he was playing that music, the demons was not vexing him and fucking with him because they couldn't deal with this shit.
That's
And when he
crazy.
was done and it was over with, the demons came back and vexed his ass.
That's raw. I want to have raw. I want to hear that shit.
Exactly.
That shit was cold. You know that shit was
But
cold.
that's the power of music. Esau knows this.
the
That's why
vibration.
he's using music as a tool to attack us.
It's a weapon.
Yeah, he hijacked it.
What they showed you that in that study some years back, where they was taking water crystals and freezing it to certain
Yes,
music,
I saw that.
and this, that, and the other.
Interesting. I remember that.
Yeah.
And all
Well,
the-
they also just showed us in that movie as of recently that Clone Tyrone.
Yeah.
That movie was a heavy movie, man. A lot of people watched it just for entertainment,
Yeah, I'm watching it.
but that's really a heavy movie, man.
They showed
Right.
you the sentence too.
You know?
They paid attention.
And yeah, Sinners was heavy too, man.
You know?
But real quick, somebody, I did call for that that
Second
second
Ezra's
Ezra's 9 before we get
still got
that.
9?
Yeah, I want you to hold it. I want to play.
I'm in it now.
I want to play this this minute this video of Rala. I want to play this this video from Arrows of Indignation, man. About and it's labeled "Might have the tables turned in Mexico." Issachar telling Esau to leave the country. So yeah, because it it's the script did it not somebody can grab it, but did it not say that he would be chased out of the world? Right? People are tired of his red ass.
He wasn't.
But they have to learn the hard way. But you know what? There's a whole lot of Southern Kingdoms gonna have to learn the same fucking lesson.
Over in Mexico tearing white people's asses up right now. If you don't believe me, you can go look it up. But the Mexicans that are in Mexico are literally coming after people who are claiming to be nomads. You know, all those boomers who have now retired and are looking for a cheaper place to live with their retirement. They decided to go to Mexico and try to gentrify Mexico. And they said, no sir, no ma'am. The Mexican people are going through their cities where they built all these places of shops and restaurants, and they are breaking everything. They are blaming this boomer generation and these digital nomads for the reasons why the price of living is going up. They said that over the last 5 years, just rent alone has gone up 43% because of them. They said that because of them, they are now having to choose between groceries, rent, and electricity. And they didn't waste no time telling them, get the fuck out. They even said they were coming on their beaches telling them that their mariachi bands can't play their music. The nerve. That's a cultural thing that's been going on there forever. Why would you think you get to go to someone else's country and tell them what to do? There was even one of the protesters who was quoted stating, this is how colonialism works and we're gonna put a stop to it before it ever even happens, honey. And they don't look like they're joking around, busting windows straight out, honey.
Vienen de otros países, en su mayoría extranjeros, a querer imponer su cultura, sus precios y desplazar a los mexicanos, a los nativos de estas tierras.
Él es gringo.
Solo es un paso más a la colonización, a los despojos y a que exploten nuestros recursos.
It's getting crazy out there. It's a kind of play.
Anticapitalista, antipatriarcal, antirracista, proletario.
En 5 años las rentas han subido 47%. Eso es algo a priori para la población local. Nosotros no estamos debatiendo entre pagar la luz, pagar el agua o comer. Entonces, por supuesto que preferimos comer.
Aunque aún tenga el sueño de querer un departamento donde vivir sola, pues realmente va a ser difícil.
Mexican citizens protested yesterday against gentrification in Mexico. Against Americans, Canadians, anybody who is remote working in Mexico. Thousands protest. There's even video if you search Mexican gentrification protests. They attacked American-looking people in restaurants, broke windows.
So basically, if you look like a gringo, you was getting that ass whooped. That's what happens. You
Oh,
sitting there
yeah.
having your dinner, and all of a sudden you just catching the flops.
Yeah.
All right. So, hey, but get that they'll be chased out of the world, and,
You
we
like
can
some
get that
hands with
second
your
answer.
stick?
It's the two-piece combo.
This is Job 18:18 says he shall be driven from light into darkness and chased out of the world.
That's a beautiful scripture, especially to fit what we just watched,
That's right.
and the fact that it's happening, man. It's
In the face.
it's actually happening. We've been telling you and warning you, man. It's gonna get worse. All right. It's gonna get worse, man. Same thing gonna happen in Brazil. It's gonna happen all over the place, man. All right. Not to mention that they just had that the BRICS meeting in Brazil. Didn't go too good for the G20 or the G7 because the G7 and G20 has gotten small. Ain't the G20 no more. A lot of people that's part of G20 is now with BRICS. And G7 has gotten weak, man. Yeah, you remember, brother.
This is Luke 17:26. And as it was in the days of Noe, which is Noah, so shall it also in the days, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came and destroyed them all. Likewise, also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded. But the same days that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Even thus shall it be in the day when the Son of Man is revealed. In that day he which shall be upon the housetop and his stuff in the house, let him not come down to take it away. And he that is in the field, let him likewise not return it back. And just to reconcile what we just heard, he said in the days of Lot, which what happened after the days of Lot? Sodom and Gomorrah destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. All right? As in the days of Noah, what happened? It destroyed the whole earth. The Lord said, just as in those days, it's going to be a semblance of life, a semblance of everybody moving around as everything is peachy keen and normal as hell, but it's going to be a destruction being sown underneath it that's going to destroy all the bullshit.
All hell gonna break
It's
loose.
the same thing that's happening now.
And
I
it's,
cannot
and it's
wait.
literally happening, man.
Fucking can't wait.
And the Lord knows that we're worn out, man. Brothers are worn out. Brothers are tired,
Yeah.
right? They are, man. Apostle Tahar been doing this for 4 decades,
40
man.
years.
All right. Apostle Gabar,
35 years,
coming,
26 years.
he rolling up on 4 decades, man.
Apostle Makar,
All right.
Apostle Rama.
They all close. They pushing it. They rolling up on 4 decades themselves, man. All right. The elder bishops, 3 decades and counting.
It's two
So
decades.
if I feel like I feel,
Yeah.
I can only imagine how they feel.
Right.
Two things: to see all the fruit from their labors, right, and then the second thing to see it actually start to happen, man. They got. I imagine that, if I'm feeling the way I feel, I'm tired and worn out, but I'm also super excited at the same
Invigorated,
time. Man.
right.
I'm invigorated.
Yeah.
Seeing the downfall.
All right. It's like the more pain that I'm in, the more elated that I get. It's weird.
St. James.
Because you know it's necessary.
It's right. It's right. It said through much suffering must we enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Super
man.
necessary.
So we're not just gonna go in there and everybody feeling good. We're gonna go there feeling bad.
That's what
There's a lot of suffering that has to happen, to go through the straight gate.
Man.
Yachia, I'll call it the Yak script, man. When he reads the second Ezra, the 7th chapter, man, because that's where we are.
Literally one man.
All right, that's Jacob's trouble, man. Well, go ahead, brother. Salah.
This is James 1, and I'll just go 2. My brethren, count it all joy when you fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that trying of your faith worketh patience, but let patience have a perfect work, that you may be perfect and entire, wanting nothing. And I love the scripture because who in the middle of the hardest of temptations is counting it all joy? Who gets locked up and is like, hey, it's joyous that I got locked up. You know what I'm saying? People go through things and they're currently, that's the matter of fact, that's the only time they go to the Lord is when they get fucked up and jacked the fuck up and try to, oh, I won't never do that no more if you get me out of this jam, Lord. But we go through the diverse temptations that we go through and the trials and tribulations, and we count it joy. Why? Because who else can fit this bill? Who else is drinking of this cup? Who else follows the examples of the scriptures being executed today? Who fits the mold? Who fits the bill? Only us. So when we see that, it invigorates us, because say, hey, Yahushua went through this. He said, be ye followers of me, be examples of me. You know, I got treated like shit. I was a man of sorrows, a man acquainted with grief. Now we walking in that same set path, that same set journey, and going through the same set things. When we can see the fall of our enemy in the face.
In the face.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful because it empowers us.
Every day there's more news to show you that we're closer. Every day. Every time you open your eyes, man, something else has happened that's putting us closer to this man's demise.
Yeah.
Because he's so proud that he's doing all these things just to destroy. The scriptures are very clear. He says when he is about to fill his belly. So they want to build more camps and more, a copycat, Alcatrazes. They will, the alligator Alcatraz or Auschwitz Alcatraz, alligator Auschwitz, whatever the fuck they want to call it. And now you got states that want to, that want to do. Be right, because the Esau Edom is showing his true colors, man, and he knoweth he have but a little time. That's why he's acting this way. But somebody get that second Ezra's Bible shot.
The 9th chapter. Now I had read the first. You said the 9th chapter, right?
No, the 15th chapter. The insurrections, the wars, the fact that Esau's getting ready to fight each other. They're getting ready to pew each other. The Egyptian versus the Egyptians. Matter of fact, say that for last. Go to Isaiah the 19th chapter. Start at verse 1 and then jump. You know what to do.
This is Isaiah 19:1. The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and all the idols of Egypt should be moved in his presence.
Right, and that's another thing, man. The chariots, a couple weeks, who saw that orb that shot down them 2 missiles? That, we. And now, and all these citizens and Edomites catching the imagery of the chariots on film, and they're panicking and it's like, what is that,
I thought it was gas with a reflection of light. Yeah, that's what they tried to blame it.
Yeah, that's what they came up with.
Yeah, that gas reflection of light.
Right. Fuck out of here, man.
The hearts of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it.
That's the gas reflecting the Jupiter's light. Really, nigga? Go have some Salakia, brother. That shit blue.
And the hearts of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians.
Yeah, so these Egyptians, like I said, these fucking Medal of Honor winning Purple Heart motherfuckers that love America, mad as fuck.
That's right. Good.
This orange motherfucker cheese puff can come in and just start, and then it said, what happened to MAGA? MAGA turned to Mawa. All right, or you could say make America Israel's, because that's what the fuck it is. And a lot of Edomites are tired of that shit. That sentiment is being pushed heavy, which is why they want to call you anti, semantics every time you bring it up, man. Every time you tell the truth, that who will get mad because you're running shit. That
you brag about.
Because that article that they did. What was that article that we brought out where it shows you all the top CEOs and running this, and everybody was J-ish.
Yeah.
And they was very proud of it in that moment. They showed the top 100 CEOs or whatever.
Right.
They run every fucking thing, but then when you speak about it, you're anti-semantics. It's like, huh?
How dare you put their lives in jeopardy?
Right. Right. It's like, well, you mean the fact that, there's 5 companies here and all the CEOs and all the top management is all the same people, and that's that's fact. What a conspiracy party. These motherfuckers, man. That Congress is mostly them. The House of Representatives is mostly them. That you got all these NGOs and you rule in favor for and Americans can say whatever the fuck they want about America but can't say shit about Israel. What kind of shit is that, man?
Bullshit.
And that's another reason why the Egyptian is going to be versus the Egyptian. Read it again.
It's Isaiah 19:2. And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother and everyone against his neighbor.
Right, so Civil War 2.0, man, it's gonna be way worse. They got way more high-tech weapons, man.
That's right.
All right, and you know, we're not mad. We're actually excited. I'm glad you Edomites is about to go to war with each other.
We know it's necessary. It has
All
to.
right,
It has
right.
to come.
We I mean, you know, I don't give you the hell with the, you know, with the J-ish. And all. I don't give a damn, you know, that they get mad or, you know, that they ruling and shit. That's good. That they get the rest of you Edomites riled up because they didn't share a blessing with you. You know, they gave you this fraudulent thing called whiteness, and now that's become your shame. You know, now you can't even hide behind whiteness no more. Now you want to get rid of it. You know,
It's too late.
City against city and kingdom against kingdom.
and kingdom against kingdom, man. And you best believe that the kingdom of Babylon, the kingdom of Egypt, you know, that this wicked current system that we rule in this kingdom, you know, that is controlled by the house of Esau. And the house of Esau is completely fucking divided, man. All right, and so they hate Jacob, and they making all these plans to do all this damage to Jacob, and they're only gonna do it to the 2/3 who are marked for death anyway.
Yeah.
All right, and you're doing all you got all these high tech ass weapons that you just gonna turn on other Edomites.
Yeah, they're gonna be too busy fighting each other.
Too busy fighting each other, man.
The great sword in Revelation 6, it said to war with one another.
There it is, man. So it's getting ready to be so-called white man murdering so-called white men in the streets. And any so-called Negroes, Hispanics get caught up in the middle of it. That's just your stupid ass in the middle of the crossfire.
That's right.
All right? And they just gonna happen to see you and remember that they hate you and give you a couple and then go right back to killing each other.
That's right.
All right? That's what's about to happen, man.
That's right.
All right? Simple as that. You can go ahead and read that second Ezra, brother. We can get ready to wrap.
Second
You got one?
Oh, sure.
You got it?
Yes, yes.
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Oh, you said the second measure. Okay.
got it?
Revelation.
No. You gonna get it. He gonna read. He wanted to close the scripture before you read it.
Oh, God. Revelation 18:21. And a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and cast it into the sea, saying, "Thus with violence shall that great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall be found no more at all."
Right, and it is no coincidence that we here, the men of the great millstone, GMS, casted down Babylon with the words of Yahweh Bashem Nahushai. It's no accident that we're not called ISUPK or IUIC or any of those. All right,
What are their videos?
Wow.
you know, they're not chanting down Babylon. All right.
10,000 members in 5 videos.
Wow.
Right, but you know what? Them niggas can march their ass off though.
Oh man. That shit is vexing as fuck, man.
You know?
What's even spiritual about the name? The apostles say they never get named themselves.
That's right. This is
Spirit,
an
the
epithet
spirit
from
name.
other people.
You know,
Yeah.
right,
The
yeah.
Spirit did.
You know, and they just roll with it. Shit.
There it is. So this is the Lord did all of this, man, and he's gonna finish his works. You can read that and finish. We'll wrap it up, brother.
Second,
Yeah.
Second Exodus 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into a city, and shall not be able. But because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and with they spoil their goods because of the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. Behold, saith the Lord, I will call together all the kings of the earth to reverence me, which are from the rising of the sun, from the south, from the east, and Libanus, to turn themselves one against another, and repay the things that they have done to them.
So Lord is coming back for that payback. All right.
I have one more. Like as they do yet this day unto my chosen, so will I do also and recompense in their bosom. Thus saith the Lord Father.
Right. So they got to get double. Right. So with that, man, we're gonna give all praise, all honor, and glory unto
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakarash.
Kwam Yasharala.
Kwam Yasharala.
Bob Babal.
Babal.
Turn those machines.